Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Experience podcast, inside the business, buzz, and brilliance of Black entrepreneurs. Here is your host, Dr. Frances Richards.
Bonus episode. What happens in Vegas goes all over the world on Black Entrepreneur Experience, episode number 212. Thank you for joining us as we elevate the Black Entrepreneur Experience by interviewing CEOs, thought leaders, innovative thinkers, and Black entrepreneurs across the globe. I'm your host, Dr. Frances Richards. A fifth-generation cotton farmer from Northeast North Carolina, known as the Puff Daddy of the industry, and he has a big vision for his brand, BlackCotton. Welcome, Julius Tillery.
Hey everyone, this is Julius Tillery here. Glad to be here with you, talking with you today.
Julius, why don't you fill in the gaps? Share with our audience what you'd like them to know about you and your business.
Well, I would like for the audience to know that I'm an African American. I'm a young African American in regards to farming. So I'm a young African American black cotton farmer. In doing this business, I've gotten my skills from my father and grandfather. We all worked together. My grandfather passed away in 2017, so I'm a part of a family business, and we are in a black community in Northeast North Carolina, where even the town that our business is headquarter is, is the mayor's black, the town commissioner is black, our police is black. So this is a business about promoting the blackness that's involved in the cotton industry and giving it a positive perspective and spin.
Julius, when you say young, how young are you, if you want to share?
34 years old.
And what is the average age of individuals being in the cotton industry?
Probably around closer to 60, my father's age.
So why is a young man like yourself in the cotton business?
Well, the number one reason is probably because my father was in it and he brought me along with him. So I've been working along with him all my life, since before teenage years. And I've always stayed beside my father each year on each crop we produce.
So you went to college, and did you major in something similar to help you in the industry?
Sort of. I've majored in economics, and economics is important in understanding financial markets and understanding how finances will reflect in market behaviors and how, cash flow and other types of, assets can be used in economic development.
You started the interview out with talking about everything in your community is centered around Black. Talk about Black Lives Matter, COVID-19, and the cotton industry.
Well, the COVID-19 is something that's been very strong in our community in regards to affecting things. Just like everywhere across the country, our school systems are shut down. A lot of job flow has, slowed down, and people are getting together less. In regards to blackness and, in the cotton industry, our area used to have a lot of black people involved in the cotton industry. But since, cotton combines, like the tractors that pick cotton, really came into place, fewer and fewer black people have been involved in the cotton industry. Like our county of Northampton County is the number 2 producer of cotton in the state, and the number 1 producer of cotton in the state is right beside us in Halifax County. So our region is majority black people. We make up the majority of the people. However, we have very few of the assets. As a cotton farm, we're a very small cotton farm. Most of the farmers that raise cotton around us, which are our white counterparts, they're at least 10 times larger than us. Many times more, way larger than that.
What can we do right now to support your business?
One thing you could do is go to my website and check out our business. Follow me on social media, especially our Instagram. When people see others following along on our business, and if you buy products and you post them online, we'll repost them. And we like to show how our products are going across the country. We have sold products to probably over 40 states now, getting close to all the states in the country. So showing that support that people have in the business, not just in likes, but people liking it, engaging with our posts, and posting products really helps the brand recognition of Black Cotton.
What are you most grateful for?
Well, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to get up each morning. I'm a Christian, so I believe the Lord has empowered me to be able to, use the assets around me and all the skills that He's put empower me and all the people He's brought together to help this business of BlackCotton. The BlackCotton business was an idea that I had and about trying to make more money on our cotton farm and giving Black farmers like myself pride in the industry and being able to, get up in the morning and believe that it's something worth doing. And I'm thankful that, things are coming to place where this work has gotten bigger than me and it's affecting my community, it's hiring people, friends I've grown up with, and they believe in it just as much as I do. So I'm thankful for all the positive energy and support that has already started so far with our business BlackCotton.
Something that we should know about the cotton industry that we don't know.
Well, a lot of people, when they talk to me and they ask me about my involvement with the cotton industry, they think that we sell cotton directly to manufacturers or, brands like Hanes and Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren. Those clothing companies usually do not work directly with cotton farmers. And even at that, typically they work with the co-ops. Even that, sometimes it's not even that big. Like the co-ops that I'm a part, like the co-op I'm part of, most farmers that raise cotton sell their cotton to a co-op, and then the co-op sell the cotton to big manufacturers or processors. And a lot of our cotton that we raise in America right now is going overseas to Asia. I wish more of our clothes was created in America so that these jobs can be in our communities. And I think that's something that I wish more people knew how macro the cotton system is, because I don't have direct correspondence typically the clothing makers.
And even with everything going on with a lot of import exports, it appears, and tariffs that has shifted, you're still seeing more of the cotton being sent to Asia?
Well, what's happened is we don't have the processing factories to turn our cotton into cotton yarn. There's very few places that exist like this in North America, let alone just our state. So most of these factories are in overseas, so that's why most of the cotton is going overseas and being processed and being turned into products there to be sent back to America to be sold, or we buying it back from Asia. It's a terrible process because it creates all the jobs over there. The outsourcing, all the jobs that used to be in our communities have shifted to Asia.
What problem exists in the world today that you would like to solve, Julius?
Well, with BlackCotton, there are a few problems that I like to solve, and it centers around the Black community empowering itself. As someone who works in nonprofits as a professional, too often in poor areas we try to find grants and become grant dependent. But when we get these grants, it kind of causes disruption of people working together, and it makes people conflict. But I feel like with businesses, if we can create more businesses that can create jobs and output, that we focus on selling products to other places, it can help empower our Black community. That could be a model to other Black communities that suffer through similar issues around economic empowerment.
What is some advice you wish you had followed?
Jumping all in sooner than later. It took a little time for me to realize what I needed to do for my business. I was living in Durham at one point for a long time, creating my business, but I needed to put all of my energy to focus in on the business. If you fully believe in something, sometimes it's going to take all of your energy, and it's hard when you're splitting your energy in multiple different ways. Not to tell people not to have multiple streams of income, but if you know what your true focus is, focus your energy there and then split out your side energy in other places.
What is your vision for the brand and the business of BlackCotton?
I would love for BlackCotton to be, its brand to grow more nationwide. We sell individual products nationwide, but I want us to be in more stores. I want us to be in more florist shops. I want more people using our products in more events. And I think while cotton has been trending up, I think there's so much room and growth for our products to be all across the country.
And is there other products that you're selling other than cotton, or mainly just the cotton?
Well, I sell cotton decor as wreaths, bouquets, and all types of like accessories such as boutonnieres, corsages. We create jewelry with the cotton. There's a lot of different products we create from between accessories, jewelry, and home decor with the cotton. And eventually we're going to move into the fabric space and also the clothing textile space.
And how far out is that project?
We're hoping no later than 2022.
And we had talked about just getting into textile and branching into that industry. Can you share more insight about that process?
Well, when I initially started, the concept of black cotton, I wanted to bring awareness around there's not many black cotton farmers exist. Really, it's less than 50 black cotton farmers that exist across the country. And in this pretty much extinction of a career path and, type of person, farmer, I wanted to make a product that people could instantly buy into and know where it comes from. And I wanted transparency. So in looking at how to find a way to turn my cotton into clothing, I realized that process was extremely expensive, where I was going to spend at least 6 figures worth of money to get to a place where I can make money in it. I would have to spend an extra 6 figures. So what I wanted to do is turn around that process and, get to a product where I can directly get my cotton into people's hands without spending that money. So just knowing that how expensive textiles is and how many hands you got to deal with, there also are not people that are black owned, the people who own these factories are not black owners as well. So it's going outside of my base. So it was a lot of challenges in getting to textiles that would need to be figured out for black people to have a full product made and created by black people.
What was that aha moment for you, Julius? Tell us the story surrounding around you saying, I am going to go into the cotton industry with my family.
Well, I work as a professional that helps black farmers in general. And I used to go to a lot of different conferences and speak to the farmers. Like, I'm very known in the sustainable agriculture, the healthy foods world. And I would go to these conferences and I would ask people in the room, especially if there's a black room or black farmers, I would say, where are all the conventional row crop farmers at? Anybody raising soybeans, corn? And it would be a few people. But then if I would say anybody in here raising cotton, it will always go dead silent. And then what it made me realize is this type of farming that used to be everybody involved in it. Like when I was younger, even growing up as a kid in the 90s, I knew numerous black farmers that raise cotton. Now to the point where it's hard for me to find someone that has someone that has cotton in their fields that is black. So I just wanted people to understand how massive of a change that is and across the country, because we've had millions of people that raise cotton that was black, and now doing it down to less than 100.
What is government doing? And I know you talked about that you don't want to depend on, or you don't want your business to be depending on grants or the government. Is the government doing anything, or your state's senators, to help black farmers?
Well, there's always a program or some type of initiative that may come up that puts some extra money in some farmers' hands, and I always love and respect those products, especially like the grants that give like new seed funding to, new and beginning farmers. So these things come up from time to time in different funding cycles, and I always try to stay aware of them to be able to share them to other black farmers and farmers of color in general.
Is there an organization for black farmers?
There are many different organizations that help black farmers. I work for one in particular that's named Black Family Land Trust. Look us up online, and we're dedicated to using conservation practices to help black farm families stay sustainable on their farms and keep their land in black ownership. So if you have any conservation easement questions or want to, get some resources to help you as a farmer, or you're interested in becoming a farmer, or you have any kind of questions around black land ownership, give us a call at Black Family Land Trust.
Julius, there are so many brands and businesses that are dominating. Share a brand or a business that's dominating that you admire and why.
I call myself the Puff Daddy of cotton. I admire what Sean Puffy Combs has done with the Bad Boy label, and also with Sean John's clothing label. I aspire to be someone that try to change the culture, to bring people together, make it hip. As a farmer, a lot of times what I've seen when people try to advocate for us, they try to use sadness and hardship to show our story. And that's not something I want to, do. I want to make us seem more cool, more hip, more something that people want to be. I used to ask myself, who are the moguls in farming? And I would look around and I would say, do I want to be anybody in farming? And then that made me want to be somebody that people will want to be. Like, I hope somebody looks at our brand and say, man, that's what I want to do with cotton, or that's what I want to do with my farming. And that's what we're trying to bring to the industry.
Talk about your top 2 influencers and what lessons did they teach you?
Oh, top 2 influencers. Neffy Walker off of Instagram. She is a force. I just love the presence and community that she has created and all of the space that she has done with that community. Like, she's brought her people together. She's really helped and driven a lot of business to my community, like to my BlackCotton brand. So Neffy Walker, please go follow her. She's definitely a leader and somebody I will always be behind. Another person that influencer that I am inspired by is Dr. Heber Brown. He's the leader of the Black Church Food Security Network. He's a powerful Christian brother that is bringing Black people in church communities in the Northeast and connecting to the South. And what he aspires to do is to bring the Black farmers' products together to the Black church, because he knows that the churches spend a lot of money on food, and he's trying to deepen that relationship and make us healthier spiritually and physically, mentally, with good food and a good connection within our food.
Speaking of being healthy, talk about self-care. What does self-care look like for Julius?
Oh, I'm a big sports fan. I love the energy, that competitive energy in me that I have to win or I have to let loose sometimes. I just can watch my favorite athletes compete and I can live through their competitiveness. And so definitely sports is something that I'm really into. Basketball. I was a basketball player in high school, and the NBA Finals is my favorite sports competition, period, and it's on right now. So Lakers versus the Heat, I'm enjoying it.
And who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for the players. Bam Adebayo, he's from my region of the state, 252, so I really would love to see Bam win, but everybody roots for LeBron's legacy, and I hope he does well.
Give us one word that describes Julius.
One word that describes Julius is innovative. I don't want to be someone that just watches things crumble and not try to find a solution. And that's what an innovator usually does, is try to find a solution. They don't just look at the problem or make a lot of noise about the problem, but they find a solution to the problem. And that's their way of addressing problems. So innovator is something I would like to be known as, or that's a word that describes me.
Julius, what do you need right now that you don't have to move the needle forward to reach your next milestone?
More followers and supporters. I don't want to say I funded this business on my own and through sales. So I believe if we can have more people to follow and buy into the company, then the company will foster and grow, because it has grown through all the dollars that people buy, buying products. It goes into this business and hiring people and making sure that we can get the products out. I believe the more and more people follow, the more successful this business will be. So please follow me on Instagram and check us out on our website, www.blackcotton.us.
Is there a social cause connected to your brand?
Absolutely. Just the empowerment of rural Black communities. This is usually where our roots start from, these rural Black communities. All our Black people are really cousins all across the country that usually started somewhere in the Southeast United States, North Carolina being a place. My last name is Tillery. I'm a descendant from Tillery Plantation. And a lot of us have a similar story. And I just want us to know that this business is focused on helping those communities where we all come from and start from.
In 2020, Julius, you don't hear much about the plantation. Share your story about your history and the plantation.
Well, as I say that I'm a 5th generation cotton farmer, the very first generation Reverend D.L. Tillery. He was born in 1871. So he was the firstborn person in my family born free from slavery. His parents were slaves on Tillery Plantation, not far away from my family farm right now. So, just that ability to be born, like his parents survived and birthed him right after the Emancipation Proclamation is so much special. It was so special because he was the first person born free and the sky was the limit. And what he decided to do with his life was to buy a farm in Rich Square, North Carolina, where the clan of Tillery's began at. And, he fathered my great-grandfather that I'm named after, Julius Tillery. So Julius Tillery had James Tillery Sr., that's my grandfather, and James Tillery Sr. had James Tillery Jr., and we all have grown in this family farm from that beginning of where we were born free at Reverend D.L. Tillery.
Talk about the person in your legacy, or talk about the person in your lineage that inspired you the most.
Not born yet, but my baby that's about to be born in the next month. I'm thinking about, what life can I give to him. I don't know what the future holds, but I know my father and my grandfather instilled a lot of good in me, and I want to be able to continue that forward. So my baby that's to be born in this next month, just know that your father loves you, and he's going extra hard for you.
Shout out to the new baby to come, and congratulations.
Thank you. It's my first child.
So we are really celebrating with you, Dad-to-be.
Yes.
Julius, what book would you recommend and why?
The Bible. I'm one of those Christians that go to Sunday school. And let me tell you, this year has been so challenging because I haven't been to church since the last Sunday was the first Sunday in March. And since then, I've been really in tune with Sunday school every Sunday. And it's just so much wisdom we can get from the people of the Bible ages, because everything goes full circle. But there's so many things in life that we can learn from it. So pick up that Bible and read along with a good Sunday school book. That's a lot of lessons that can keep you grounded. That's just really important to me.
Let's talk about your legacy. When it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered?
As the person who remixed cotton, the pup daddy of cotton, Julius Tillery, innovator of cotton, someone who created a brand that is just as powerful as Levi's in Southern California, BlackCotton will be that to Northeast North Carolina, hopefully, in my vision.
Let's switch gears for a moment. Let's talk about risk. Talk about the worst moment in business and what was your takeaway?
The worst moment in business and my takeaway?
Correct.
Okay. I went to a big show and I just didn't have enough products. I had, I had products to show off, but I should have had more products there. And it showed me how I needed to prepare to the next level for the market that I was selling at. That's one of my best moments. It was in New York too with Neffy. And I did well at the show, but not doing as well as I needed to do took my focus to the next level of getting my product right, which is going to help me build and get to the next level now.
If you had to do it all over again, would you do the same industry the same way, and why?
Yes, I would. Even if this business doesn't become financially successful, I know that I've changed the perspective of how people see cotton farmers and see Black farmers in general. Like, we're not all just about, health. We can also be about business and economic development. And I think that's something we really need to tell a story on, is how we can inspire people to believe in us as business leaders.
Speaking of economic development, what do you see as a strategy for us to help more Black farmers?
We definitely need to create more Black farmers markets where Black people are the people who are the vendors. Black farmers don't do as well, mixed open farmers. Well, not to say we can't, but people be working against us, and it's just not the vibes that are intensive for us to be successful. And I feel like it's just like what a Black student gets at going to a HBCU, a Black farmer at a Black farmers market gets that same type of intentional love. And we need to create more Black farmers markets and Black farm stands where people know where they're getting their products from, and create our own style and environment for that.
If someone spent a whole day with you, what is something that we would learn about Julius that we don't know?
I'm a very practical person. I believe in the things that I see on the ground, and I'm a community person. So usually a lot of things that I speak on, I've heard it from somebody else in the community. So I try to be reflective of the environment that I'm in, and I'm in a very Black community. So my life mission is improvement of Black communities and the Black people, using business. So I try to listen to a lot of different perspectives around Blackness.
Talk about your most memorable moment in life or business.
My favorite memorable moment is when we started the farmers market and when my business location, the hometown, Garysburg, North Carolina. When we started that farmers market in Garysburg, North Carolina, people didn't believe that a Black rural town could have a farmers market at that time. We didn't believe it. We didn't have a grocery store. And I don't know what made us that we couldn't for so long work together and sell products to each other. But ever since we opened that farmers market in our Black community has been working together better. Our community center has begun to start thriving. We built a playground. That farmers market in our Black community made Black people feel like we can do business with each other. We can trust in each other. And ever since then, that my town has started to thrive in a new direction, and we all are working and blooming together. So that's one of my favorite moments ever. And shout out to 2015 when we started Garysburg Farmers Market.
And is the farmers market still going on, even with COVID-19, or how have you guys made that shift?
Well, the farmers market has taken a shift, but the community is working together better now. So, even my aunt would sell products at the farmers market. Now, people just call her directly, and like the people who was customers at the farmers markets, they know the farmers, and they just work directly with them now, which is amazing.
That is quite an accomplishment. So have you started to go from outside your region to set those up in other areas?
I was one of the first farmers of the Black August in the Park Black Farmers Market in Durham, and that is a thriving farmers market that has expanded to Raleigh. And I'm really proud to be associated with them. I know the founders very well, and I was one of. They had initially had a Black market that was just Black business owners vending, but they turned it into a farmers market that has been even better. And I'm so proud of their accomplishments and their growth of the farmers market. And I hope more cities use the Black farmers market as a model that, right there in Durham, North Carolina, something could be in more cities across the country, because Black farmers markets is something that Black farmers definitely need.
Julius, what keeps you up at night, if anything?
Honestly, I'm one of those people that try to go to sleep at a good time at night because I get up early in the morning. Like, I feel like if I attack the day and I give it my all, by the time I eat, brush my, take my shower, eat, brush my teeth, I put in a full day's rest and I'm ready to go to sleep to be able to do it early in the morning next day.
What is your best discovery?
My best discovery is how we can talk to each other, how we can uplift each other, and that brings business back. Indirect marketing is just as effective as direct marketing. As the famous rapper Drake says, you get what you give. I realize the more I give of myself, the more I get back.
What is a daily or a weekly habit that has given you the most success?
One thing I try to do is the calendar at the beginning of the week and really at the beginning of the month. And, before you start every week, go over your calendar and making sure that you put the action items that you have to do in your calendar so you can constantly see them. I have a physical written calendar, so I write things in a month view, but in the week view, and you can see what's on your calendar and be able to plan and build towards it.
What is the biggest challenge that you have of being an entrepreneur?
I think one of the biggest challenges that I have as an entrepreneur is being able to meet the expectations of the team that's working around me. We all have this goal of getting to the top and for our business. So I just want to make sure that we stand on track and being able to achieve goals that keep us in line, that will make sure we're proud of the things we're working on. We don't want to do this work empty. We want to be able to have goals that we can achieve and know that we've done something worth doing.
Let's talk about raising capital to fund your business. How did you raise capital to fund your business? And what I want you to talk about, Julius, specifically, because someone is saying, well, Julius, you came already into your family farm, so did you really have to raise capital? So I want you to be very specific about that.
Well, in regards to, no, I didn't have to buy a family farm. It was just something I worked into for a long time. Like, if I wasn't working on the farm the, way that I needed to, maybe the family farm fails. Family farms fall all the time, so this is something I had to be a part of for it just to be in existence, because, the work wasn't getting done by itself. But in regards to, the capital of hiring workers and buying supplies and shipping products and, everything that goes on to creating the designs and getting the products to people and marketing those products, I had to do that hand to hand in raising money by sales. I had a GoFundMe. I still up, but I raised a little less than $3,000 on a GoFundMe. But I got a lot of support through being in places where people can support vendors and business owners through the website and just selling products. And also tours as well. People come in. People also donate because they believe in what we're doing and how we're showing it on social media. So just telling my story has been the way I've raised money so far. Telling my story and creating products and selling.
Julius, talk to a younger you. What advice would you give to a younger Julius?
Stay persistent. Stay humble. Don't worry about the naysayers. Just stay focused on what you're doing and what you can control. And stay humble.
What is one valuable lesson you wish you knew before coming into the business of cotton?
One valuable lesson that I wish I would have known early is how important chemistry is in building your business. When you're just trying to put things together, especially a team, workforce development, you're usually going to just want all hands on deck. And you still may need all your hands, but sometimes creating the right chemistry in your workplace and your work systems make everything align to work well.
What have you not done in life that you dream about often that you would like to accomplish?
I would love to go viral in sales. I would love to know the day where it's like, wow, our sales issue is over with. Now it's about controlling our quality to meet the expectations of the people. We are still trying to build our base up large enough where we can go to the next level. And we're not far away from it because we've done enough work to understand what we have, to know what we have to do to get where we need to be.
What is a technology tool or technology platform that is a must-have in operating your business day to day?
Social media. Social media has been the difference between, how I'm selling my cotton now and how my dad, grandfather, great-grandfather, and great-grandfather, they couldn't imagine selling cotton all across the country with people they don't see. People they've never met in person. However, with social media, we build a trust and we can build relationships to be able to do commerce with people all across the country without seeing them, but they can ensure that they can get a product they can trust in because they see it all the time on my social media.
How do you include your personal life, your business life with your family life?
Well, with my family life, I have a family business, and my family business and my personal business go together sometimes, but I try to draw lines in regards to my privacy and what's in my private life. Like, people can see what my family do for a living, but I don't like them to see how I'm living. Like how I am in social gatherings. And, I always, when I'm on business code, like when I'm in a tour, that's one type of way. But when I'm with my private family and friends, I try to turn off social media and I try to turn off the persona of business owner and just live my life.
How do you stay healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually?
I participate in Sunday school every Sunday. I watch a variety of different ministers and preachers give their sermons. One thing I do that's helpful on the physical side is I try to do 10 push-ups after every shower, and then I try to do 20 push-ups before I go to sleep. And you do enough push-ups, they'll get you right.
How do you maintain a healthy lifestyle and working on the farm?
On the farm, I raise collard greens, salad greens, field peas. I raise a lot of different vegetables that I think are good for my diet. So I'm eating off the land, and that's really helpful, especially when I eat fresh fish that I catch or my cousins catch. We're a rural community, so we got a lot of hunters around us that like to, whatever game they kill, they might give us some, or, especially my cousins, if they kill a deer, they'll, turn it into deer sausage, deer hamburger, different products. So I try to eat off the land, and I feel like, eating off the land is definitely more healthy than eating a lot of fast food and convenient food. So eating off the land is really good for my physical and portion, but in my spiritual portion, I definitely stay in tune with my Sunday school, learning the lessons from the Lord. It's one thing to be uplifting and to praise the Lord, but it's another thing to be in tune with education that helps you with, tools that sharpen you every day.
If someone wrote a book about you, what would the title be?
Last Black Cotton Farmer.
Julius, if you conducted this interview, what is the one question that you would have asked yourself? I want you to ask the question and answer it.
How valuable is education? How much should we spend on it? Are we spending enough? Are we spending too much? The answer to that question is we don't know. The best education is what we do, and we only do daily.
We've come to the part of our interview. It's called Fun Facts Lightning Round. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and I want you to give me very quick answers. If it's something you desire not to answer, feel free to say pass. Are you ready for the Fun Facts Lightning Round?
I'm ready.
The last movie you saw?
Projects, the Jamie Foxx movie on Netflix.
You relax doing what?
Watching sports.
Your favorite singer or rapper?
Notorious B.I.G.
Your favorite dance song?
Walk It How I Talk It.
What food you eat every week no matter what?
Oranges.
Your favorite month?
November.
Work out or hit the couch?
Work on farm.
Your first job?
Boys and Girls Club.
Julius, thank you so much for joining us on Black Entrepreneur Experience Podcast. Before we let you go, why don't you share with our audience the best way for our audience to do business with you and to support your business? And don't hesitate to give us all of your social media handles.
Okay. Please go to my website, www.blackcotton.us. That's the very best way to reach out. There's a contact us section, but you can also follow along at blackcotton.us. If you send me a DM, I'll respond. I'm on Twitter at Mr_Black_Cotton. If you want to, shout some thoughts to me, that's where I'm always speaking my little mind sometimes. But you can check us out on Facebook.com/BlackCotton Decor. I'm not as good on messages there, but you can send me one. I'll probably respond back. But I like to respond back to emails and Instagram messages, on direct messages. And my email address is blackcotton.us@gmail.com. So any of those social medias, my website, or my email address, it comes directly to us, and we're going to respond. Please don't hesitate to reach out.
Thank you, Julius. That's a wrap.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Francis.
Thank you for listening and subscribing to Black Entrepreneur Experience. We would love for you to leave a review and rating on iTunes and share with your friends. For show notes and more episodes, go to www.beepodcast.com. Join us next Wednesday, and remember, green is the new black. So keep your bank accounts and your business in the black.